Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 man. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, okay. Make sure my volume good. Is my volume good? All right, all right, all right. Okay, so we here now. We here. We talking. We talking. Very imperative. Let me make sure everything works. What's up, Brody? Is it this one? Make sure. Let me see if it even got one that came in there. So I want to talk about something today. Hmm. Nah, we'll have to take care of that later. But anyway, I was talking with some friends today. We was having a good conversation. And while having the conversation, we were talking about some some other friends of mine. Let me make sure I got this right. Maybe I can charge it up. Maybe this will work. Hold on, y'all. Right. So we were talking about some things, and one of the topics we started talking about was like how you can't save everybody. Here we go. You can't save everybody, man. And there are gonna be some people you love to death, people you're gonna really love and care about, and they're gonna, set themselves up, set themselves up to not do well, set themselves up to fail. You're gonna come across those people. That's just the nature of that's the nature of life. Make sure it comes through. So it does work. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can make that bigger. That chat box is a little small. So anyway, shout out to Cash for the joint. So anyway, we were talking, right, and I got a close friend of mine who I grew up with, who I love to death, and all that good stuff. And while we were out there talking, while I was talking with him, we came to, he called me, my homie. He called me and told me that he was going to continue to drink. He's going to continue to drink. Now, those who know me even semi well. What up, Cash? Those who know me semi well. Sorry, pardon me. You don't even have to know me that well to know that I don't drink, I don't smoke at all. Like for me, there is no. Okay, that's the wrong one. There is no situation that warrants drinking for me. Now, I don't expect everyone else to live like that. I don't expect everyone else to operate like that. But that's just the way I move. But this particular homie of mine's, that ain't his case, bro. This boy right here is a full blown addict. Full blown. I'm talking like gotta have a drink type of thing. Like not he can't. There are people out there who there are people out there who can drink casually and just have a good time. They don't gotta sweat it. They don't gotta do much. They can just have a casual. They can have a drink and just do their thing. He's not one of them, right? He's so bad that he convinced himself, you know, that he can't be seen by his family right now. And this is a classic thing for those who don't have people in their family who were addicts, or people in or people who I won't say active addiction, or people in their neighborhood. Then there's a term that they use called running. Running is when you're actively pursuing the substance of choice. Doesn't matter what it is. When you're actively pursuing the substance of choice, and during this time period, you're not really around your family a whole lot. You're out and about. You're trying to get to the next fix. And this guy is 100% that right now. Breaks my heart though. Breaks the shit out of my heart because this is a guy who, um, this is a guy who I grew up with. This is a guy I have, I've known since I was 7 years old. That's almost 20 years of friendship we got, and to kind of watch him slip down this slope is a painful thing to see. And it's a situation where I know personally I can't be around it, because if I'm around it, then I'm not gonna be able to, I can't really separate myself. I can't separate myself from it. And it, yeah, I can't really separate myself from it. So with that being said, it becomes a matter of it just simply becomes a matter of, like, I guess, understanding your limitations. And I first learned this thing limitations. I first learned this when I worked in drug and alcohol. When I worked in drug and alcohol, that's when I learned. That's when I learned your job as the counselor is not to save people. Your job as the counselor is to provide them information. Now, what they do with the information, shout out to Cash over there for showing love on TikTok. Now, what they do with the information is completely separate than your job. You know, and it sounds selfish, but the job of these people in these fields in these spaces are selfish. And what I mean by that is, it's not your job. It's not my job as the count. Like if I teach you all the stuff I know and you don't use it, I didn't fail as a counselor. I didn't fail as a counselor. Maybe you didn't know how to apply the stuff I said. Maybe I didn't do a great job in showing you that. But when I see, you know, Because most of my clients, most of the people in drug and alcohol, when you have clients, most of them don't come clean. Most of them will live and die in addiction. They will die in their addiction. Most people. But that's when I go back to, you can't save everybody. And if you look at life, if you look at all the movies, the comic books, the superhero movies, the movies about life and death, you realize really quickly is a reoccurring theme. Everyone is not meant to go, and you can't save everyone. Think about in the comic book world, Thor couldn't save everybody, and Thor's a god. Superman couldn't save everybody, and so this is a thought process I have to have today, because I got some friends of mine who I love dearly, man. Like I don't want nothing to ever happen to those guys. I love those guys dearly, and but I also have to understand that they are going to do. They're going to have to do what they have to do, and that's a hard pill for me to swallow. It's a hard pill because you kind of get to see the writing on the wall. You get to see the writing on the wall. You get to see that, damn, this is probably not going to end well. But you can't do nothing about it. Like you can't do it. You can't do a thing about it, man. And so like, and feel free to chime in. Feel free to chime in if y'all want. But yeah, it's hard, y'all. It is hard, I just want to. I just want. I've always wanted. I guess I always wanted to be that super. I always wanted to save the world. But I understand now that I am limited in what I can do, and it's all up to the individual, man. All of it. The final say so will be up to the person who's receiving the information. What they decide to do with that information, hey man, more power to them. More power to them, man. But more power to them, y'all. More power to them. Um, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. It takes me back to being a kid with my dad. It takes me back to that time frame. That time frame. Um, because I remember every other month, every other month, like every other month, my dad was back and forth to the hospital for something alcohol related though. But he was back and forth. He was back and forth. He was back and forth, man. Like, it's a tough pill, tough pill to swallow. Tough pill to swallow, y'all. Shout out to Cash over there again for showing love on TikTok, man. We almost at the 1,000 like mark over there. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody watching right now. I seen Tone pop in. I seen my little brother Rick pop in, man. I seen you guys pop in this thing. I appreciate y'all doing that. Um, I'm grateful. Grateful for that, y'all. I am. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. Man. And for those who know me, that's why I'm so adamant. I will never touch or go near any substance, man. There's no substance in the world that's worth it to me. Not one. Not one. Yeah. Not one, man. Damn. Is that my cat back there? Yeah, that is. I don't know why he making all that noise, y'all. I don't know why he making all that noise. Mm-mm-mm. Damn, that's crazy. Shout out to Cash again, man. Still showing love. Appreciate you. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on today. I just thinking about some of the things that have been going on and where we at with things today. Man, it's a scary thing. Scary thing. Oh, so you be getting boards. Okay. Okay, we good there. Let me make sure I got this done too. I'm not betting on that. There we go. All right, so let me focus back to y'all. Okay. I just want to take care of what I was taking care of for a second. Anyway, so back to y'all. Um, yeah, it's a scary thing, man. But what I did do, when I spoke to that friend, I spoke to that homie of mine. It was a bit of an intense conversation. I won't really tell you guys what he said per se, but I guess you guys could probably infer what he said based on what I said in response. And I pretty much told him like, look, man, you're a grown man. Do what you do. Do what you do. But I'm not gonna be there if you decide to follow that route. That's on you. Like I won't be there to pick up the pieces. Like I won't be there at the end of the road. Like I won't be there for that. And I know that sounds effed up, but I'm like I have to stand. I gotta stand in that because it's like if I don't stand in that, man, then when you don't set the boundary. Sorry if I hit the microphone. When you don't set the boundary, right? When you don't set the boundary for what you're gonna tolerate and not tolerate, you end up tolerating a whole lot of stuff you don't want nothing to do with. You end up tolerating a whole lot of stuff that you don't want nothing to do with. And it ends up becoming it ends up becoming more trouble than it's worth. Right? It ends up becoming more trouble than it's worth. You end up dealing with a lot of things that probably would have been avoided had you stated, "Hey, look, I don't want nothing to do with that." So for me, it's a big deal for me to establish I don't want anything to do with that situation. If you're gonna do that, I'm good. Right? Speaking of boundaries, let's transition over. We're talking about boundaries. Boundaries are one of the most important but hardest skill to obtain. And your boundaries aren't tested by strangers. Your boundaries are tested by those you love. Love one's the only one that's going to test your boundaries. Boundaries. It's not a stranger. Not a stranger. And I don't know, man. It's a. I'm still a little bent. I'm still a little bent out of shape about my homie. Still a bit out of shape about that. Like, still a little bit out of shape behind that. Still a bit out of shape for that, man. Because I know it hasn't happened, and I hope it doesn't happen. But I almost feel like this. I feel like this situation has one ending, and it's not a positive ending, and that hurts. That hurts a lot. And I mean, obviously, I know his life. I mean, I know a good bit about his life and some of the traumas he had to endure. And like I know those things. But I've had my own fair share of traumas, my own fair share of scars and pain and sadness and disappointment. You know, some of those scars and resentments are death related. Some of them are, yeah, some of those scars I have are death related. Some of those scars are just disappointment. Some of those scars are sadness. But I'm pretty much saying I personally I've experienced every type, excuse me, many types of scars, and we all respond to pain differently. Some of us cry, some of us laugh it off. We all respond to pain differently. So it's not in any way, shape, or form of comparing the two of us. But what I can say with a clear heart and a clear mind is that we all have a choice. We all have a choice, man. And yeah, I hope he comes out of this on a good side, man. I hope he comes out on this a good side, man. I really do because it's one of those things where it's like I can't stand to lose nobody else, man. Like I buried my father. I buried a close friend of mine, Dante. I don't want nobody else to go, man. I know that's not life. I know it's not realistic, but we're too young at this point to be going. You know, we ain't dying of old age. We're going fairly quickly, and that's the thing I want to avoid. You can't avoid death, but when it's time to go, I want to have a whole bunch of grays on my face, man. I don't want no more red. I just want all grays by the time it's my time to go. And where I'm from, a lot of my homies, we don't make it to be old men. We just don't. So, but yeah, that's something I wanted to touch on, man. Something I really wanted to touch on because for me, none of it just made sense to me, man. It just, today broke my heart. Today broke my heart. A few days ago broke my heart, man. And these are things that break your heart. They ain't got nothing to do with dating. A lot of people think that heartbreak can only come from dating. That can only come from dating, and it's not, man. Like that, those friendship relationships be hard, man. Especially when y'all go back to the sandbox with it, man. That should be hard, right? My bad. I got cards, y'all. Those sandbox relationships be hard, man. What's the water? Oh, they be hard, man. Those sandbox relationships be hard to get over, man. Those things are hard, y'all. Super hard, bro. My cat's over here laying comfortable. Mm. I guess I could make tonight a game night, right? I could make Sundays a game night. We play. We're not strangers. We could do that. Well, look, I'm gonna step on off, man. I might get back on tonight. I might not. But